Well, I think we had to make sure with the movie that we had absolute fluidity in every respect. I mean, Faye was the day-to-day producer on the film, but we had to create 360 sets for everybody so that the actors could move fluidly, and it was the same with the clothes. We had to match what people would have been wearing in that actual weather. Otherwise, it wouldn't have looked authentic, and authenticity was the absolute keynote of the movie.
There was meticulous studies of what women at the time looked like. They went through footage, they went through some filming, they've actually got some of the clothes that belong to suffragettes. So the attention to detail in terms of the clothes is very, very significant. On even the medals, so the medals were very important to the suffragettes. Symbolic of people who'd been into prison, and all of those were produced by the same company that produced the medals in the first place.
How much do you think that your actual costume affected your actual powerful performance in your role?
The costume, I think costumes are always a huge part of any actor's experience of a role, and I think particularly on this, Jane Petrie, our costume designer, wanted to work with a lot of original costumes, and I think the sort of history behind those clothes really helped. And I think always an actor's shoes really help, and I had these very, very uncomfortable kind of cardboard, clunky old man's shoes that made me walk slightly weird. There were lots of different things that helped.
When we actually started to look at the surveillance photos of these women at the time, they were much more unbuttoned. You know, their clothes were much looser. They felt much more contemporary, actually. And so for me, I loved that. I loved the fact that I had been sold one image of history and fashion. In fact, there was another one to discover. And I think what was amazing as well is when we talked to the designers on this, and I think Sarah Gavron could probably talk to you more about this, one of the things she really talked about was this bruised palette of colour. And so the idea is that all the costumes reflect this different colour of a bruise. So that's why there are quite a lot of blues and purples and kind of almost yellows and a bit of pinks in there. And I love that. I love the fact when the costumes actually start to emulate the kind of central theme and the sort of beating heart of the actual kind of essence of the movie.
The most interesting part of the process was the research, actually, because we knew how important this film was when we started, but it's not until we really dug deep into that research that we see the true relevance of today. This political movement and how relevant it was today.
What was great about the suffragettes was often in a lot of photos they looked very modern, and also they were hiding stones and toffee hammers under their...
It's always tough, yeah.